Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Cassia. Hmm. All right. How are we all doing today? Um, I I just woke up. I was at a there we go. Um, I was at my in-laws' house last night. They had a puja worship session all night, and I got home at like 4, got to bed at like 5, and just woke up. So here we are. Oh, Cassia, good. Except it's 7:30 there. Yeah, it's 12 o'clock here. But glad I got some sleep at least. Mm. All right, so let me pull up my notes here. Yeah. So today we're in our fourth fourth week. Yeah, fourth week of our 6-week series. We are talking about the suit of cups and water today, the element of water. Our first week we did what is tarot. We talked a little bit about the history, and we talked about why we use tarot. The second week we talked about the major arcana, which are the first 22 cards, and talk about sort of like our life's journey. And last week we started into the minor arcana. We went through the wands and the fire energy, and today we'll do cups and water. And we're going to be focusing on the 3 astrological water signs. So we're going to be focusing on Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio today. So if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign in Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, you can share that with us, and that's what we're going to be focusing on when we get to the individual cards themselves. Yeah. If you don't know what your sun, moon, or rising signs are, you can look that up. A great resource is Cafe Astrology, and you can put in your birthday, you can put in your birth time, and it will give you all of your signs. So we're going to be working with Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio today. Okay. Hello, Maria. Hello, Anne. Hello, Little. Did you change your picture? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, a little overview of what we'll do today. It'll be the same as we did last week, but obviously different because we're going through a different suit. But I'll talk about the archetypal energy of the cup suit. Then I'll talk about when you're doing a reading. If you're doing a tarot reading, what it means. What does it mean when cups come into the reading? Then we'll do the astrology personality cards. And then we will do the deacon cards, which connect to your birthday, and going through each card 1 through 10. Then, if we've got time at the end, I will do a collective reading just from the cups suit. All right. So, do we have anybody? Anybody have some Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces in the chart? I do not. I do not have Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, at least in my sun, moon, and rising. Anybody else? We had lots of people last night when I did this session that had some water signs in them. And if you want to know what your sun, moon, and rising sign, how they connect to the cards, so that you can look them up later, you can also share that. If you didn't get that connection last week when we did that, I can tell you what astrological sign is connected to which court card in the deck, even if it's not one of the waters. If it's a air, fire, or earth, I can tell you, and then you can look that up and find that later. We did wands last week, so we went through Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, which Aries is the Queen of Wands, Leo is the King of Wands, and Sagittarius is the Knight of Wands. Cassia. Okay, yeah. If you only know one of your signs, that means that is your sun sign. Usually people, your sun sign is based on when you're born. So, Cassia, you would be a Pisces sun. If your birthday was last month or earlier, oh gosh, we're in April. Yeah, so if your birthday was in February or March, end of February, beginning of March, that would be a sun Pisces. And here we are in April already. Yes, so we'll talk about that. If you want to know your moon sign and your ascendant sign, like I said, you can go to Cafe Astrology or just Google search a free natal chart. And if you know your birth time, then it will give you all of the other signs and where they are in the planets. So, okay, not seeing anybody else that wants to know their astrology sign yet. So let's just begin with our archetypal energy. So here we are in the realm of cups. Here's our Ace of Cups here. And just like in the description of this live session, one of the major archetypal energies is the element of water, right? Cups holding the water. And when we think about water, we think about sort of like both ends of this spectrum of water, that it can be really nourishing, calming, cooling. But what happens when we get too much of it, right? When we get too much water, it becomes overwhelming, becomes drowning, right? We can drown in that water when it's too much for us. So thinking about a hot summer day, which it's not hard to think about here in India. It's getting really, really hot at the moment. We are fully in our coming into our hot season now. Thinking about this like hot summer day, how supportive is like a cold glass of water, cold glass of ice water even. How supportive does that feel to your body? Or getting into a cool body of water that has like gentle rolling waves. Like how supportive is that for you? But then thinking on the other side, right, that too much of that water, the intensity of that water can become destructive, overwhelming. We think of the natural disasters with water, floods, hurricanes, cyclones, tsunamis, and also like the lack of water, right? Like droughts. So we are looking for this nice supportive balance and harmony that is not on any extreme. And just like the element of water and the cups, we are connecting to our heart space, and the emotions. And you can see that very clearly in this picture, holding the Ace of Cups here at the heart center with that nice flowing, heart in the center and this flowing water coming from. So we're talking about this water element in the emotional landscape. And for those of you that are practicing cycle awareness or have been practicing cycle awareness with me, this would be connected to the season of autumn and the inner autumn, right? Which is our premenstrual phase. And when you think about the premenstrual phase and you think about emotions and water, it seems quite fitting, doesn't it? That is the season where we are most prone to feeling, right? Feeling our feels, feeling those emotions, and that flow of watery emotions, figuring out how to bring those into balance and harmony within us. So some of the words, the word associations with the energy of cups are obviously love, feelings, relationships, any sort of like personal connections, being in the flow and that fluidity, that creativity and connection to your intuition. So sort of like your watery energy knowing within. And then it can also be connected to this energy of healing, cleansing, detoxing, and purifying, right? Because water and emotions can do all of that. And last week when we talked about wands and the element of fire, we know that that was a very active, outward moving energy. Here in the cups, we're working on our inner landscape largely, and some of those subtle powers within. So it's not this like big outbursting energy that the wands can be. It's more of like this subtle, subtle knowing and flowing of emotions. And again, like the wands and fire, that was solar energy, right? Which solar energy is the energy that moves up and out into the world. The cups now, we are talking about the lunar energy. So the lunar energy that is moving down and in to yourself, that is very receptive, that is adaptive, that is that intuitive energy as we're moving in. So that's our overview of the archetypal energy. Hello for those of you that have joined. Anaya, hello. Sarah, hello. Welcome. For those of you that have joined just recently, we are going to in a little bit, we're going to be talking about our personality cards, and we're going to be focusing on the water signs in astrology. So if you have a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant, you can let us know that. And we're going to be focusing on that when we go through the cards individually. Oh, hello, Pooja. Welcome. Welcome. Sarah, you don't have any of those but a Cancer or North Node. Yeah, we're not going to focus on the North Node today. Just going to be focusing on Sun, Moon, and Rising. Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. If you want to know, what the card is that connects to your astrological signs, you can also put those in, and I'll let you know what they are, even though they won't be cups. And then you can look up your card later and see if that resonates with you. Hi, Sue. And Aries rising. Okay, we did Aries last week because we did wands, and we did wands last week with Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So Aries is the Queen of Wands, connected to the Queen of Wands, and rising is your mask, how you're viewed to the rest of the world. So you can look up Queen of Wands and see if that resonates, if other people see you as that energy of the Queen of Wands. I myself, I'm a Aries sun and moon, so I connect to the Queen of Wands quite strongly. Venus and Mercury in Cancer in the 8th house. Yeah. I don't think I have, I would have to look up my chart again. I don't have it memorized. I don't think I have Cancer. But I do have a Scorpio. My Mercury might be in Scorpio, but I can't remember. Oh, it's in Pisces. Yeah. So, okay. Let's talk about when Cups shows up in a reading. So if you're doing a reading for yourself or you're getting a reading done for you, talking about when Cups show up, when they arrive. So if you have a reading that is mostly Cups, right? It's like dominantly Cups. That is usually telling you that there's this emotional connection to this situation, right? Or this conflict, whatever you're asking, whatever you're exploring. That means you are emotionally connected to that. It also probably means there's something to do with a relationship with you and somebody else, with you and a community. There's some sort of personal connection where where the emotions are flowing in, this two-way relationship. And it can also talk about your creativity, your intuition, especially if you're getting a reading that is around your work, that is around career, business, and you get a reading that's mostly Cups. That's probably some indication that it's talking about your creative pursuits in that situation. And when you have a card that is a cup, it usually means that you are no longer coming from the head space in that situation, but you are moved down into the heart space, right? So we can move from all of these different spaces within our body, right? We can move from our head space, which happens a lot, right? When we are just thinking with our head, moving with our head, and it's disconnected from the rest of us. Or we can have sort of like those bodily gut reactions, right? You're feeling that in your gut, if you're connected to your body and you know where that feels, and you move from that space. Having the cups show up means that you're not moving from that head or that gut space, you're moving from the heart space. So something is very attached to a feeling, to an emotion, and that's where you find yourself in that. That you can't, when the feelings kind of take over, right? When your heart takes over, and it sometimes, like, you can't reconcile it in your mind, where, like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this way? Why am I feeling this way? And it's just sort of like you're moving from those feelings, from those emotions. And this can mean that you are moving from more of a spontaneous or habitual reaction, right? Because the feelings and the emotions we have are very tied to situations that have happened in our past, right? And we think about the traumas we may have experienced. We think about these neural pathways that have been created in our mind over the years we've been living. And oftentimes, if we find ourselves in a situation that is similar to something we have something we have experienced in the past, that trauma response, that neural pathway, means that we're going to react quite similar, because we have this habitual reaction to those things. And so I'm sure some of the things that trigger you, right? The things that trigger you into a very habitual emotional response. And so that's something that is sort of like a flash of awareness that we can invite into whenever a cup shows up in our reading. We can look at that card and say, oh, is this shining a light onto some sort of habitual emotional reaction that I'm having to this situation? And so that can be very helpful then to enter into that energy of the water for healing, and allowing that to transform the way that we react in the future, right? So this can also, when we have cups in a reading, it can also be an invitation to bring in more feeling, right? Maybe you feel very disconnected, very detached from a feeling to a situation. And so this could be inviting in, how do you feel about this? And also bringing in this energy of sort of like imagination and fantasy. And even though we use our mind for that, right? We are connecting that to that watery, intuitive feelings within whenever we are dreaming and fantasizing about a life that we want to live. So the cups also can indicate like, oh, take some time to imagine this life that you want to be in. Now, if we're looking at some of the warning signs, right? Some of the cards in particular are a bit more of a warning sign, a card of awakening, of awareness, so that we can find some of those emotional sticky points, right, within us. So some of the warning signs could be having, again, one of those habitual emotional reactions. You know, those emotional reactions where a situation happens and your mind doesn't even have time to think about it before you let your emotions come through, right? Especially like anger, right? When we have like those immediate anger responses that can be harmful, right, to ourselves or to the others that are in the pathway of that anger. So some of the cards in the cups can be, oh, like let's examine your reaction time and see how we can be more expansive, more loving and caring in the way we respond to things. And another sort of warning sign can be if you are completely disengaged, right? So if you have sort of like cut off the emotions, you've cut off your feelings, and to any sort of situation, maybe you're moving just from your mind, trying to be very logical about this situation, but the cards might show you that a little bit of feeling, emotion, empathy into the situation would be helpful. And the other one could be talking about, we were just talking about creating those fantasies and that imagination in your dream for the future. A warning sign can be whenever they are like unrealistic, and we're setting ourselves up for these unrealistic expectations that may just lead to grief in the future, right? So we've got one more warning sign, that the cups, and one card in particular, which you'll see whenever we go through each card, is this like an inability to share your emotions or repressing your emotions. When you try and like shove them down because you don't want to have that reaction, right? So we have to find, again, that balance where we are not reacting too quickly, too much, where we're overwhelming, using that overwhelming flow of energy, and we don't want to repress them and push them down, deny our emotions, deny how we are feeling about that situation. So the cups are going to help us, guide us to like, where are we in the present and how can we bring in that balance and harmony of the emotions. Okay, so we're going to go into the astrology cards, personality cards. So again, if you are a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, you can let us know, and that's what we're going to focus on. But as we go through the personality cards of astrology, we're going to be going through the court cards. And so we'll just be talking about the court cards. So even if you don't have one of the water signs in your chart, you'll still get to know what these four court signs mean for you. Okay. Maria, Sun in Taurus, Moon in Virgo, Rising in Aries. Okay, so we will get to your Virgo and your Taurus. Those are both pentacles. So that will be the last week. So in 2 weeks' time, we will talk about the pentacles. But if you want to look them up now, Taurus is the King of Pentacles, and Virgo is the Knight of Pentacles. And last week, like I said, we talked about wands and rising, and that is connected to Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries is the Queen of Wands. All right, so we've got a Scorpio moon, excellent. Michelle, Sydney, Pisces rising, and Cancer sun, excellent. Okay, so we've got at least one representation of all. Beautiful. Okay, so let's first talk about the Page of Cups. So when we talk about the personality cards, we don't bring in the Page of Cups. So the reasoning behind this is that the Page of Cups is an adolescent energy, right? So think about yourself as an adolescent. Did you know who you were? You might have known like sort of pieces, but it might have been hard to articulate for yourself, right? In your adolescence, we're figuring out who we are, right? Just moving through all of our situations and learning about ourselves. So that is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is that energy of our emotions during adolescence, which, if you were anything like me, were very turbulent, very turbulent emotional landscape during my adolescence. And yes, that like large waves of big highs, low lows, and I didn't really know who I was. And so that's why we don't bring in this energy for the personality cards, because the other three are more set, more grounded in who they are. And the Page of Cups is very ungrounded. If you can see from this image, even the page has their legs. Their legs are floating in the air because this is an energy of ungroundedness. But also the page is a dreamer. The page is a dreamer, quite sensitive. This energy of a poet, right? Being very poetical, mystical, and emotionally open, right? Emotionally open because they're sort of like figuring out, who am I? And I'm going to ride the wave of all of these emotions. And that is the Page of Cups. If you get it in a reading, that's the energy. And the energy, I talked about dreamer, right? And I don't know if you can see, but here in the corner, there's a flying pig. And so it's that energy, if you've heard the saying, like, when pigs fly, right? So sort of like having these like outlandish dreams that like the time when pigs will fly. That is the energy of the Page of Cups. So then we're going to talk about the Knight, the Queen, and the King, and connected to Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, where Pisces is the Knight of Cups, Um, Cancer is the Queen of Cups, and your Scorpio is the King of Cups. So if you have one of those cards as or one of those signs as your sun sign, that means your card is your personal potential. It tells you where your greatest potential is in your lifetime. It's sort of like your sacred purpose to fulfill, what you are working towards achieving and accomplishing in your life. If the card is or if the sign is your moon sign, that means the card is talking about your intuition, your inner guidance. It's that what you are here to learn and to grow in wisdom throughout this lifetime. So that's the inward. The sun sign card is your outward greatest potential. The moon sign is your inward, that greatest piece of learning and wisdom. If you have a rising sign in Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, the card will talk about how you are seen to the world, sort of like either the mask you wear to the world, and you can see if that mask is true to who you believe you are. So is it, are they harmonious together, how you present yourself to the world and how you feel inside? Or it could show you like your shadow side, right? Those shadows that are being projected out into the world, that aren't true to yourself. So we've got the sun, greatest potential in life, moon, greatest teacher, really that inner guidance card, and the rising is how others see you or your mask that you wear to the world. So let's talk about the Knight of Cups. And again, this is for the Pisces. So the Knight of Cups for Pisces, if you have a Pisces sun, moon, or rising sign. The Knight of Cups is one that follows their heart, right? Follows their heart more than you would follow your mind or follow your sort of gut body reactions. And as you can see from this card, the Knight of Cups is quite a romantic, and a charmer, right? And sort of an idealist. So I know what I want, right? I know what I want, and I'm going to do whatever I need to get that. And so talking about, romancing a situation, romance in a relationship, to create the most idyllic environment that they can. And they are about, so the Page of Cups, what I talked about with the Page of Cups, being a dreamer, but in an ungrounded way where the dreams are disconnected from reality. But the Knight of Cups, then we come back down into a groundedness. And so then the dreams that the Knight of Cups is creating, they're going to work towards making that a reality. And doing that in a way where they're trying to make it, the in the most ideal situation that they can. That's the energy of the Knight of Cups. Oh, Anaya. Okay, so that is your inner guidance. Your inner guidance for this lifetime, what you're here to learn. You're here to learn how to turn your dreams into reality, how to put on some romance and charm into your life, into your relationships, and follow that heart, right? Beautiful. Okay, so now we've got Cancer. So if you have a Cancer sun, moon, or rising sign, we're going to be talking about the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is very compassionate, calm, comforting, empathetic, supportive. So it really is this it's this like mothering, caregiving energy. Somebody that is deeply connected to how they feel. Like, I know how I feel, and I can share that safety and comfort in my own feelings with others. Sort of like I can bring others under my wing and care for them because I have enough enough emotions of love to give on to others, right? And the Queen of Cups then is also quite spiritual as well, because it's very connected to intuition. So even like in this image, you see that the Queen of Cups is half immersed in a body of water, like sitting in this watery landscape that is a symbol for the inner landscape that the Queen of Cups has. Very connected. And then this connection, to this divine energy above. So it's almost like the water is the grounding for the Queen of Cups. The emotion, that connection to your feelings, connection to that sense of love and compassion is the grounding to connect to that divine connection, your spirit within. So that's the Julie. That is your sun sign. So that is your greatest potential in this lifetime. What you are here to achieve and accomplish is that connection to great compassion and that energy, because it's your sun sign. That's the energy moving from you out into the world. I've lived that a few different ways already. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm sure that there is just there is more of it to come, more of it to be as you continue unfolding in this lifetime. Okay, and our last one is Scorpio, a Gemini moon. We'll be talking about Gemini next week. I have a Gemini rising, so we'll be talking about swords and air next week. Okay, we've got Scorpio rising. Excellent. Remember, rising is your mask, how you present yourself to the world, how other people see you, and Scorpio moon, the inner guidance, the intuition. So we've got the King of Cups. So the King of Cups, quite a similar energy to the Queen of Cups, but this is one of stability. Stability, control, balance, harmony. So it's one, even though, and point out the difference between these. Look, you see the Queen of Cups is under the water, right? Under the water, where it's like, I'm going to fully feel my feels and let that be my connection to self, to divine, to the world. Whereas the King of Cups is sitting on top of the water. So it's a very symbolic distinction between the two, where the King of Cups is more in that state of control, where the emotions are more on an even keel level. They've come to a place where they're not really experiencing a lot of the highs and lows. They've come to a stable place with the emotions in general, right? Not all the time, but in general. It's a lot easier for the King of Cups to come back to a sort of like a neutral energy. And with that, though, the King of Cups can have an intensity and this deep passion, right? Deep passion and intensity that's more of an inner connection. Whereas it's not shown as much to the outside world. like the Knight of Cups. That would be the opposite of the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is like showing that emotional connection to the outside world, whereas the King of Cups is still feeling that deep intensity and connection to feelings inside, but is not really showing that. Is more showing the stable and control outside. So that is our King of Cups. So those are our 4 court cards: the Page, Knight, Queen, and King. And let me know if you had a water sign connected to that, how that landed for you. And then we're going to go through the other 10 cards. So our other 10 cards, we've got Ace through 10. And these are also connected to Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces sun signs. So I don't remember. I know there was Julie's a Cancer sun. Sydney's a Cancer sun. Anybody else had a water sign that's a sun? Cassia was a Pisces sun. So it doesn't look like we have any Scorpio suns here. Okay, so we're going to go through all 10 of these cards. The first one, the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is it's the only one not connected to a birthday, connected to a sun sign, because the Ace of Cups is showing the purest potential of the Cups energy. So it's sort of like it's infused in all of the water signs. And the Ace of Cups is the, I don't know why I'm holding all of the cards. I just want to hold one. The Ace of Cups is the beginning, right? Because we're here going through cycles 1 through 10. And so this is the energy of a new feeling, right? So it could be a new relationship, a new pathway in your life, a new connection, just something that sparks feelings, new feelings, and an energy of opening your heart. I'm ready to open my heart. I'm ready to trust these energies of love and connection. And this can also talk about another new level of spirituality as well, connecting to another level of your intuition. And so it's sort of like, again, the beginning, sparking that newness, a new feeling connected to a relationship, connection, spirituality. That is the Ace of Cups. Pernilla, oh, we've got another Cancer sun and rising. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to get into Cancer first. So if your birthday, if you are a Cancer sun and your birthday is June 21st to July 1st, June 21st to July 1st, we've got the Two of Cups. Two of Cups. So moving from Ace into the Two. The Two of Cups is the soulmate card. The soulmate card. Oh, I guess I should say, when I'm talking about the birth dates, when your birthday is, from this state to this state, and you get one of the pip cards. So the pip cards are the 1 through 10 in each suit. This is talking about sort of like your innate desires, that sort of like instinctual knowing within you, that sort of that like spark that you were born with, right? We're talking about your birthday, what you were born with, and comes very naturally to you. Whether it is, there are some of these cards that are very light cards, very happy cards. There are other cards that are a bit more shadowy. And so just seeing how they sit for you. This is June 21st to July 1st, July 1, the Two of Cups. There are 3 cards for each 3 cards for each sign. So this is just the beginning of Cancer, June 21st through July 1st. And this is the Two of Cups is the soulmate card. The soulmate card, unity, partnership, connection. And it's that energy of when two come together and have this mutual understanding, respect, love. And it could be a romantic relationship, or it could just mean a deep friendship that is on that level, that soulmate level, soul connection level, or like even a business like partnership, somebody that you're collaborating with where you are connected on that soul level. It's like you just get each other, right? In that partnership. And it's almost like by being in that partnership, by being in that relationship, it makes yourself better. Like that energy of we are better together than apart. That's the Two of Cups. Okay, and then we have the Three of Cups is for those whose birthday is July 2nd through the 11th. July 2nd through 11th is the Three of Cups. Three of Cups. Now we're moving from the Two of Cups being that soulmate one-to-one relationship to the Three of Cups is expanding that energy into a group. So friendships, community, finding those like-minded, kindred spirits, and coming together in like teamwork. So Julie, having that as your natural desire, your natural instincts, seeing if that resonates. Do you naturally want to be in these close, connected communities where you feel heard and understood and seen for who you are, and you can just fully be who you are with these other people, with this community, this friend group, whatever that community is for you. That's the energy of the Three of Cups. And when you pull this in a reading like this, I love the Three of Cups because it is the card I pulled for the coven that I run. And I got this idea like a year and a half ago to start an online coven because I have a desire, to have this community of like-minded people where we are practicing cycle awareness and connecting to our witchy sides, right? And so I did a reading to see like, what do I do with this idea? Is this a good idea, And the card that came up was the Three of Cups. And it was like probably the most confirmation I could have got from the deck, right? Because I was asking about gathering a group of like-minded individuals together, and I got the exact card that said, yes, do that. Gather that group together, and it will, be a deep emotional connection for all of you. That is the Three of Cups. Beautiful, Julie. Oh, I said I wanted to find the one with whom I made salt. Oh, what does that mean? With me. NA them CL 22 is your day. Okay, beautiful. Oh, is that a saying? I've never heard that. If it's a saying, I would love to know what that means. Find the one to whom I made salt. Interesting. Okay. So our last Cancer is July 12th through the 21st. July 12th through 21st. And that's connected to the Four of Cups. Four of Cups. So our Four of Cups, the Ace, the Two, and the Three started us off like on this like high, right? Feeling all these new feelings, feeling these soulmate connections, feeling these friendship, group, community, like-minded people. And then the Four of Cups comes. We can't ride a high forever. And the Four of Cups is this energy of apathy, and sort of like just being bored with life, being disconnected, detached. And again, on this emotional level, that's where we are with the cups, right? So just feeling that, the connection that you have to even your life, to the world, has been severed, and you're not feeling, right? That's that apathy. And this card is usually connected to that energy of scarcity, right? And if you see the image in this card, you see this side over here that this person's looking towards, that the cups are empty. And that's what they're focusing on. Oh, I have these 3 empty cups. Like, there's nothing for me here. That sort of energy, like seeing all of the lack, what I'm missing, what I don't have. In this deck, the Light Seers Tarot that I use, oftentimes this rainbow energy that comes in the images is talking about like the life force, that life energy that in the Four of Cups you're not seeing, you're not experiencing. But that's the hope in the Four of Cups. The hope in the Four of Cups is it's still there, right? The fourth cup is still there. You just have to turn your head and notice. You have to become aware of those things, that life force energy that's still flowing from you. So if that card comes up in a reading, that is again another one of those like, come to awareness of where you are focusing on scarcity and how you can turn yourself towards that abundant life force energy that you have. Okay. Salt chemically is NaCl, 2 separate chemicals come together. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now I get it. Thank you for explaining that. Yes. Oh, that's really beautiful. Julie. Yes, the coven is always open. You can join anytime, but if you want to join, now would actually be a good time, because every new moon we start a new theme. And today is the new moon, but we're starting tomorrow. Tomorrow is our new moon circle, and we're doing the inner child this coming cycle, lunar cycle in the coven. So we're going to be doing some playfulness and connecting to the inner child, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Okay, so we're moving into Scorpio now. So Scorpio, if your birthday is October 23rd through November 1st, we're moving to the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups, this is sort of like you were in that Four of Cups apathy energy and you couldn't find your way through. And so you got sucked into this sort of like dark vortex of the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is talking about loss, grief, unmet expectations, regret, and in a way that you find yourself sort of spiraling down into self-pity, depression. That's the energy of the Five of Cups. Because as you can see in this image, and as you can see, it's a lot darker, right? Just the image itself is a lot darker, and it's set in the night than the rest of the cards. So this is a more shadowy card. And we see the actively dumping out of the fourth cup, right? We have these empty 3 cups and actively dumping out. So that's that energy of that self-pity, right? Like when you're in a situation and it turned sour, it went bad, and you no longer feel like worthy, right? And so you're actively dumping out that emotional connection, that energy you have to yourself. But like I said, there is the hope, right? Because the fifth cup is still full of rainbow. It's hard to see, but it's still full of rainbow life force energy. And all you have to do is, again, be aware of that, become aware of that is still available for you to move through that energy of the grief and disappointment, regrets, that you still have beautiful rainbow life force energy within. And next Scorpio card, November 2nd through the 12th. So if your birthday is November 2nd through the 12th, you are connected to the Six of Cups. And so we went a little bit down with the Five of Cups. We're going to come back up a bit with the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is the energy of nostalgia. And so this is connecting to the past, connecting to especially those sort of like happy memories of the past, the things that light your heart up when you remember that experience, that relationship, whatever it is that connects you, has that emotional connection to your past. And this can invite in healing for your past, and it can also invite in that inner child, right? Connecting to your inner child and being in the present in a state of sort of like innocence. So inviting in that energy of innocence into your present day self. So the Six of Cups, looking back towards the past. And then when we go into the Seven of Cups, we're going to be going forward. So the Seven of Cups is our last Scorpio card. If your birthday is November 13 through the 22nd, 13 through 22nd is the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is searching, right? Searching for purpose, daydreaming, imagination, again, connecting to this future life that you would love to live, right? But with that usually comes a lot of choices. So you see here we have all of these seven cups, and they are each one of them a choice for the next step to take, right? The next step on the ladder that will bring us to the reality, the future that we want to be reality. And so with the Six of Cups and the Seven of Cups, it's important not to get stuck there, right? So we don't want to get stuck in the past and only living in the past, because then we're going to be not as content with the present, right? But also in the Seven of Cups, we don't always want to be daydreaming and fantasizing about the future and searching for something that we don't already have, right? Both of these in the extreme energy would be rooted in scarcity, right? And so we want to, yes, definitely bring in these energies, but bring them into the present, integrate them into the present, so that we can continue moving forward in that state of, abundance. Okay, 3 more left. We've got the Pisces, our last 3. Pisces, so if your birthday is February 19 through the 29th, 19 through the 29th, you are connected to the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups, again, you can see it's a little bit more, the image is a little bit more darker than the rest, but maybe not quite as dark as the Five of Cups. But the Eight of Cups usually talks about disappointment, disillusionment. It's almost like you're in a relationship or you're in a situation that seemed really beautiful, everything in the beginning, was lovely, sort of like that honeymoon phase. And then as time went on, the facade started to wear away, and you started to see the truth underneath that facade and realize, yeah, this is not what I want. This is not the way I want to feel. And so then the invitation is to let go. Let go of this situation, relationship, walk away to something better. And even here in this image, they light the cup on fire as you go. So it's sort of like that, again, that complete severing, where there's no more emotional attachment to that situation or that relationship, and you're ready to walk away and walk completely with your back turned towards the horizon into something that is greater and better for you. As the Eight of Cups. So the Nine of Cups. This is if your birthday is March 1st through the 10th. March 1st through the 10th. You are connected to the Nine of Cups. So as you can see, a lot more joy comes back in here at the Nine of Cups. This is oftentimes called the wish card. So it's almost like, if this comes up in a reading where you have a desire for something and you pull the Nine of Cups, it's like, oh, that's coming true. My dream's coming true. My wish is coming true. And it is this energy of like satisfaction, abundance, joy, and just this like openness and trusting, right? Trusting that I deserve, right? I deserve all of these things, these feelings that are my birthright. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be joyful. And that's the energy of the Nine of Cups. And also comes like with this emotional stability as well, right? Because we're moving along the cycle. We are almost completed to the end of the cycle. So we have, once we have learned to walk away from the things that aren't good for us, we can walk into those places that are best for us. That's the emotional stability, emotional maturity that is coming now at the end of the cycle. And our last card is the Ten of Cups. And this is connected to you if your birthday is March 11 through the 20th. The 11th through the 20th. So the Ten of Cups, we're completing the cycle. This is a cup. This is a card of happiness. It's just like the epitome of being happy and joyful again, right? This sense of fulfillment where I am content in life. I feel fulfilled. I feel successful in what I have created. And my dreams have come true. And it usually talks about a family environment as well. So coming into this place within a family unit where things are just flowing. Things are just flowing naturally, flowing nicely. People are happy, connected to that joy and celebration. That is the Ten of Cups energy. Okay. All of the cards, all of the cups. So let me know if you have any questions about that. Anaya and Sydney, thank you so much for your donations. If you have any questions, pop those in, and I would love to know if you have time to do a collective reading as well with the cups. I have time. I can pull a card for us. And if you want to stick around and pull a card, we'll pull a collective card connected to our emotional landscape. But first, just let me know if you have any. Oh, I've been having this weird, like, my my leg has been falling asleep when I sit in a chair. So I don't know what that's about. I might have to do some embodiment work later today to see if there's some sort of nerve pinch or something. Okay. All right. Pooja, I'm taking it you would like a pull a card. Oh, hi Lucy. No worries. I know it's early for you. Um Also, yeah, because those of you in Europe have changed times, right? So it's like an hour earlier for you. I can, oh, it's interesting. And it's an hour, yeah. Did it go an hour earlier or an hour later though? We don't change times here in India, so I always get confused when the time changes other ways. Let me see. Oh, it's all right, Lucy. Hopefully you can make it on Monday. I haven't planned to be on Monday yet. Hmm. Yeah, I guess in the States they're not changing times anymore. They've decided to keep the same time now, so that will be um oh, but that's oh no. I'm trying to think which one I actually like better when I'm in India, but hopefully I won't be in India much longer. Okay. Let's pull a card for our collective. We're just going to be connecting to emotions because we're connecting to the cups. So, um, I am going to pull a card that is um, trying to think of the question I want to ask connected to our collective emotional engagement, right? I think the question that I like to ask the most is how we can be supported, right? So I think the question I'm going to ask is how we can collectively be supported, how our emotions, right? How our emotions can be supported in this moment in time that we find ourselves in this world. Um, yeah, let's do that. Puja. Um, Yes, if you go to my page, my teacher page here on Insight Timer, and you click on the link there, it is a one of those link tree links, but it does actually go right to my website, and you'll find my email there and a little message page there as well if you just want to send message there. So I use my middle name as my last name, Noreen. So that's how I'm known across the internet, Megan Noreen, and I'm the only Megan Noreen that I know of. So if you search my name and spell it correctly, you'll find all of the places I am on the internet. um, Excellent. Okay, so let's pull a card. How can our emotions be supported right now? And we're talking collectively. How can our emotions be supported right now in this time in our present experience? It's so hard to shuffle 14 cards. How can we all be supported in our heart space to connect to our emotions, to move through emotions? How can we be supported? Yep. We've got the Nine of Cups. Okay, so if you have been in the energy of some of the other cups like the Five of Cups or the Four of Cups or the Eight of Cups, thinking about if you've been either disconnected from your emotions feeling that detachment, that apathy, or if you have been stuck in scarcity, looking at all of the things you're not satisfied with, letting your external like circumstances sort of like bring your emotions down, right? If you found yourself in a downward spiral, which can be very easy, especially in the world that we live in today, right? That if we are looking at all of these terrible things that are happening around the world, it's very easy to get caught in a spiral that takes us down where we're stuck in that place of darkness, like not being able to see any of the goodness, any of these cups to us. So how we can be supported, right? How our emotions can be supported, especially if you're experiencing some of those on either end of the spectrum, either disconnected from your feelings or pulled under by them. The invitation is to connect to this energy of joy, of abundance, of like, can you name 9 things right now that give you joy in the present moment? 9 things that you are grateful for. Are you able to do that? I normally find it very difficult to do. I could probably scrounge up 9 things to say, but just notice if that would be easy for you today or if that would be really quite difficult for you. And that will tell you, like, where are you in that space? And that could be an invitation for you for today or tomorrow. Bring into your awareness these nine things that you are grateful for, you feel joy about. And because this is also the wish card, right? The wish card. What do you wish for? And can you connect to that emotional connection? Can you feel that? What you're wishing for, can you feel that in your heart space? And that could also be another invitation. Put that wish out into the universe and feel how it feels. And not only like feel, but sort of like embody that coming to life, becoming reality, into a place where you can trust, right? You can have this like openness, this trusting, that the universe is going to provide for you what you need to be abundant and joyful. And coming into that space is going to invite in more emotional maturity for you. So those are your that's your energy that we are invited into to be supported by. And your 2 specific invitations are: find 9 things that you are grateful for that bring you joy. And your second invitation is to make a wish. Make a wish of a situation, a relationship, a reality that you want to see come true, and then feel into that. Feel into the satisfaction it would be when that wish comes true. That is our card for today. Beautiful. All right, so any other questions? If anybody has any questions, go ahead and ask that. I will just share here briefly that this is, for those of you that this is your first tarot journey session, this is our 4th session that we just finished in our 6-week series. So our beginning, we did what is tarot. We went through some history. We talked about why we use the cards. The second week, we talked about the major arcana, which is the first 22 cards in the deck, and talks about the archetypal map of our life. And then last week we talked about wands and the element of fire. This week we talked about cups and water. Next week, which I'm going to schedule today, we will be talking about swords and air. And then our last week in 2 weeks' time, we'll be talking about pentacles and earth. And so at the end of this 6-week series, I'm also holding a workshop. It's going to be how to read tarot intuitively. So I am planning the workshop for April 16th on the full moon. So happy new moon to everybody today. But also, when we get to the full moon, I'll be having the workshop, How to Read Tarot Intuitively. And when you join the workshop, you're going to get all 6 of these recordings from this 6-week series as well. So you'll get a 90-minute workshop on Zoom plus 6 videos going through all of the tarot suits, the major arcana, and what is tarot. So the sign up page is not yet ready. I've started it. I'm hopefully going to have it done by this weekend, and by Monday you'll be able to sign up for that workshop and get all of the recordings as well. So you can, come back next week. All of that information will be there, and you can go to my website. If you're on my newsletter list, I'll be sending out a newsletter probably on Monday, talking about the workshop that you can sign up for as well. So that is what is happening. Sue, Pooja, it'd be lovely to have you there. Stephanie, just came in the final card pull. Oh, yeah, it's late. I also do, I do a live on my, my nighttime, which I think it's now around like 12 p.m. Eastern time. So this next week, I think I'm going to do it on Thursday as well. So on the 7th will be our 7th, and then the 8th this time on Friday, my afternoon time, will be our Swords and Air workshop. So Stephanie, hopefully you can make it to the other one, if you can't make it to the afternoon. But I have recorded all of these sessions, and like I said, when you sign up for the workshop, you will get all of the recordings as well. And I might put them up on YouTube, but that will be some time from now. That will happen. So, and somebody did ask me to put them up here on Insight Timer as well. So I will probably do that as well, but it won't be video, obviously. It'll be audio. So yeah. Okay. And yeah, that's what we've got. That's what we've got for today. Thank you all for being here. It's always so lovely. Thank you to those of you that have donated. That's greatly appreciated. And just helps continue this work that I'm doing in the world. And I'm very grateful for all of you for being here. If you do want a personal card reading, you can book that in on my website, also through the link here on Insight Timer. I do 15-minute donation-based readings. So you send me in your question, your situation, and I will make a video recording that's 15 minutes long, usually pull 3 or 4 cards for that. And then I will send you the link to the video. Or if you want to meet one-on-one on Zoom, I do 30-minute readings and 60-minute readings, which we go really in depth into your situation, your life, what you're trying to figure out, what's going on, all of that. So if you're interested in booking a reading, that's all available at the link here on Insight Timer, or just go directly to my website, megannoreen.com. And Yeah, yeah. It's been lovely. It's been lovely being with you all. Thank you. And hopefully I'll see you again next week when we talk about swords and air, and we'll be going through the astrological signs, the air signs of, what do we got? Air signs. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius we'll be talking about next week. So I hope you have a lovely weekend, and hopefully I will see you again next week. Sending you off with so much love and many blessings.